few months ago, I tested out a scientifically perfect morning routine inspired by Andrew Huberman. Now, Andrew Huberman is an American neuroscientist and an associate professor of neurobiology and ophthalmology at Stanford University School of Medicine. He also hosts the #1 health podcast in the United States, the Huberman Lab. Now, in this video, I tried a bunch of individual things that have all been scientifically proven to aid in your sleep-wake cycle, supposedly helping you to improve your productivity and overall make waking up a lot easier, which is really important for someone like me who basically just cannot get out of bed. And you guys really enjoyed this video, so much so that you asked if I could do a scientifically perfect night routine. And I am nothing if not a woman of the people, and thus I got to work. And so back in October, I began to research a variety of individual practices that could be compiled together to create a perfect nighttime routine based on science. And I even implemented a few practices that Andrew Huberman himself uses. And you might be thinking, well, October was months ago, so why is this video coming out in January? And to be honest, the last few months have not been kind. To give you a brief rundown, in December, I moved out of the apartment that I used to share with my ex, and we then had to go through the process of trying to put our entire lives in storage units because neither of us really knew where we were going to be living. I moved back in with my parents, and within days, the wheel on my car snapped whilst I was driving, and I skidded over to the other side of the road. And then right when I thought things were going to improve, my cat Atlas got sick. He got sick on Thursday night and was misdiagnosed by a vet on Saturday morning. He died on Tuesday, and it's really just broken my heart. And so, to be honest, I have been struggling. So if ever there was a time where I needed science to help me try and get my life back on track, it's now. And so, instead of doing the original video I planned, which was to test a scientifically perfect night routine for a week, I'm just gonna try it for one night, and I'm gonna try and see if it helps. Because what good is a routine if it can't pull you out of the depths of despair? And so I dug out the scientifically perfect night routine I'd made all those months before, and I tried to use it to get my life on track. It started with a sunset walk. Now, sunset walks are an important part of this routine because spending time outdoors in the evening means you're exposed to less artificial light, which can interfere with your melatonin production. Melatonin is the hormone responsible for regulating the sleep-wake cycle. This cycle is regulated by light and darkness, which means that artificial lights can sometimes trick your body into thinking it's still daytime. This can completely mess up the amount of melatonin or adenosine you're producing. As a result, you can end up finding it difficult to go to sleep when it's nighttime. By going outside, you're helping to naturally show your melatonin that the sun's setting, which means you'll probably want to sleep soon. Not only that, but exercise is actually incredibly good for you. Light exercise can help reduce your cortisol levels, and cortisol is the stress hormone. It can make you feel tense and pressured, which can actually obstruct your ability to fall asleep. And an added little bonus is that because a light walk counts as exercise, I was able to log it in my Copilot app. Thank you so much to Copilot for sponsoring this part of today's video. Copilot is an online personal training app that matches you with a personal trainer based on your specific needs following a short quiz online. My personal trainer is called Brooke, and I've been working with her for over a year now. Once you match with a personal trainer, they create personalized workouts as frequently as you like. I try and work out 3 to 4 times a week using the workouts that Brooke creates for me, and then every few weeks we have a refresh and she creates brand new ones, but you can get new ones as frequently or as infrequently as you like. I admittedly haven't been working out much recently because I have been really down. This means I've missed quite a lot of the more intense workouts that Brooke has set for me, but being able to log walks or low impact workouts, or to ask Brooke if she can swap out one of my more intense workouts for something a bit more gentle, has allowed me to stay more consistent than I otherwise would have been. I'll be talking about Copilot in more detail later on, but if you want to get yourself a cheeky little deal, you can click the link in the description down below or scan this little nifty QR code on screen now to get a 14-day free trial and 20% off your first month if you sign up before the 1st of February. I haven't really been eating much because I don't really feel so good, so I'm gonna try and make some carb heavy meal tonight. Another big part of the routine is making sure you have enough carbs and protein for dinner. Some people might think this is just because eating a lot of carbohydrates can put you into what people call a food coma and then you just want to take a nap, but it's actually a bit of science behind it. Protein-dense foods like beef, lamb, pork, poultry, dairy, as well as nuts, seeds, whole grains, and legumes are all rich in an essential amino acid called tryptophan. Tryptophan is used in the biosynthesis of proteins, but what we're most interested in for this video is the fact that tryptophan is a precursor to the neurotransmitter serotonin. When your serotonin is at normal levels, you can feel more focused, emotionally stable, happier, and calmer. But what you might not know is that serotonin is synthesized by tryptophan hydroxylase into melatonin. So in an incredibly oversimplified way, the more tryptophan you have, the more serotonin you have, the happier you are, but also the more melatonin you end up having, which means the sleepier you are. And you might be thinking, that's great, but why do we need the carbohydrates? Some studies have shown that a high carbohydrate meal increases the uptake of tryptophan by your brain, which in turn increases the synthesis of serotonin and melatonin. So overall, having a high protein, high carbohydrate diet should set you up to have the most tryptophan possible, the most serotonin possible, then the most melatonin possible. Sorry for the science lesson. Clean your environment. My room has become a complete mess. When I am really unhappy, I don't clean my environment. I find it really hard. And whilst you might think cleaning your environment is mainly an aesthetic thing, that's just not the case. A study conducted by New York's St. Lawrence University revealed that a messy room can lead to a poor night's sleep and increased anxiety. Having lots of things around cluttered can lead to increased cortisol levels. These things can have a massive impact not only on your emotional well-being, but your physical well-being too. There are a few points throughout this video where I put a breakdown counter, and I know that's quite a funny thing to do. I cope through humour. I was going to cut them out, to be honest with you, and then I realised the whole point of this video is to help people who might be struggling in January, and I would not be very human if I cut out the parts where I'm actually struggling, and I'm trying to do something that scientifically will hopefully help. Now this one is a little bit more up in the air, but there has been some research that reveals there is a correlation between how often people wash their bed sheets and how satisfied they reported their sleep being. Respondents to a survey by Sleep Junkie revealed that those who washed their sheets on average every 12.8 days reported being very satisfied with their sleep. Whilst this could have a lot of other explanations, for example, maybe they wash their sheets so much because they don't have to go to work all the time and they earn more money, and therefore maybe their sheets are nicer quality, maybe they have a better quality mattress, and therefore they are more relaxed. There are lots of other extraneous variables about this, so this was a bit of a meh one to kind of put in here, but in general I do think cleanliness is a big part of being able to maintain a good sleep routine. The next part of the routine is a warm shower. Now, not a hot shower, but a warm shower. Research has shown that a warm bath or shower an hour or two before bed can actually help you unwind and fall asleep faster, because it actually helps you lower your core temperature, which is a circadian sleep signal. I'm not a scientist, but a meta-analysis of 17 studies found that taking an evening shower or bath in water between 104 and 108.5 degrees Fahrenheit improved sleep quality. Those who bathe 1 or 2 hours before bedtime also fall asleep faster. The research theorized that warm water stimulates blood flow to your hands and feet, which allows body heat to escape more quickly. Exfoliation is the next part of the routine for the exact same reason. It helps to stimulate blood flow and also helps to purge dead skin cells from your body. The next step is to moisturize, because if you've just exfoliated off all your dry skin, you need to protect the new fresh skin underneath. Not only can moisturizing help improve dryness, but it can also have an anti-inflammatory effect. Many moisturizers can inhibit the production of pro-inflammatory prostanoids by blocking cyclooxygenase activity, and thus having a smoothing effect on inflamed skin. Inflammation in your body is quite common when you're sleep deprived, and so if you're not taking good enough care of your sleep, this can be a real problem. I have put skincare and hair care as important parts of this list, but I don't really want to dictate what people are using because everyone's skin does have very specific needs. It doesn't matter how long or short your routine is, find one that works for you and it will have benefits for your skin. Brush your teeth. This might seem obvious, but you know what? Sometimes it's hard to do the little things. You only got one set of teeth, babes. And dentistry is expensive. After all of that, it was time for me to put my sheets back on my bed. I do feel more relaxed than I have the past few days. I felt like I could sleep, which I feel like is an improvement. Like when I breathe, I feel like I'm actually getting the air. I think for a little while I kind of felt like I was breathing but not really breathing, if that makes any sense. And I do think a big part of that is the routine itself, because it kind of takes you out of your own head. So maybe it works, guys, I don't know. This is a silk pillow and I've never used it. It's brand new. I bought it especially for this video actually, and essentially I've been seeing a lot of Instagram ads for these silk pillows alleging that sleeping on a silk pillow improves your quality of sleep, can also help beauty wise improve your skin and your hair. We're gonna see if that's true. I mean, it feels very soft, but I am a big fan of a cotton pillow, so... Oh, that is soft.
Oh, that is nice, you know. It makes so much sense.
Obviously, we'll have to see what happens once I've slept on it, but just a basic off-the-bat assessment, this is really comfy compared to my cotton one. Price-wise, silk pillows are very expensive. I ended up getting these in a sale, I think, but this particular one is from Slip, so I will let you know how I feel about it once I've slept on it. The main argument for why sleeping on a silk pillow is scientifically better is because silk absorbs less moisture than other bedding materials like cotton. So your skin is able to retain more moisture, which can help it feel less dry or itchy. One of the things that I found when I was looking at research for what is a scientifically perfect routine, most of the kind of studies supported the idea of doing light stretching before bed. Not only is it really good to help blood flow, it aids in helping to alleviate any tension that's existing in your muscles from the day. Both of those things can be more conducive to a deeper, more restful sleep. So for my nightly stretching, I am going to do my total mobility workout on the Copilot app. And Copilot are actually sponsoring this part of today's video. So everyone say thank you, Copilot. Takes all the stress out of having to think about what it is you're going to do for a workout and kind of just makes life easy. Sorry, plant. I've been using the Copilot app for over a year now and I cannot fault it. I really do adore them. And the best part of it is that it's incredibly flexible. If I'm away and I don't have access to a gym, Brooke can sort that. Boom, home workouts. So whether you have access to a gym or you just have space at home, your coach on Copilot can come up with personalised workouts just for you. So for this video, I asked Brooke to come up with kind of like a total mobility light stretching routine, which will help me in the evenings kind of prepare for bed. So if you're looking for a way to make sure that you stay consistent for the entirety of the year, maybe try downloading Copilot. And listen here, I've got a deal for you. Click my Copilot link in the description down below. It's go.mycopilot.com/Ellbat. That is me, I am Ellbat. To get a 14-day free trial and 20% off your first month of fully personalised fitness if you sign up before the 1st of February. I'm going to do my total mobility workout now. It doesn't involve any equipment, I can do it at home, and I'm just gonna give it a go. Stretching helps to improve blood flow and relieve muscle tension, both of which aid in muscle recovery and can increase your sleep quality. Not only that, but stretching can be quite a mindful activity, and mindfulness helps to lower your cortisol. We kind of went over this when we talked about the walk, but avoiding artificial lights and blue lights are important an hour before bed because it can interfere with your melatonin production. This one I do find a little hard and perhaps potentially the most unrealistic. I tend to just turn night shift on, which is an option in most technological devices now, which turns the screen to a warmer yellow hue instead of the regular blue hue it uses in the day, which can help be more relaxing than the blue light. Uncaffeinated tea, or a similar warm beverage of your choice. The main recommendation is to drink chamomile because it's a mild tranquilizer and sleep inducer. Other research has also shown that having a warm drink can help further lower your core temperature. Alaric sent me a new Alan Watts one called Just Trust the Universe. This one is really self-explanatory. Listening to calming music or a podcast before bed can act as a form of mindfulness, which has been shown to reduce your stress. Stress is an inhibitor to sleep, and so this is a really easy part of your routine that you can implement. I'm just finishing up some chapters for the book that I have been writing for a video that's coming up at the end of January. And it was supposed to be a bit of a meme video. I mean, I've written poetry books before, you know, in 24 hours as a bit of a joke. And this was supposed to be kind of same vibe, a little bit silly. Do you want to know how many words I've ended up writing for this book? This video is supposed to be a meme. How have I written an actual 124,000 word novel? Anyway, stay tuned. You'll get to read it at the end of the month, hopefully, all going well. If not, it'll be probably beginning to middle of February. I've got to finish up a few things before you can see it. But it'll be a good video, I hope. It's important to make sure that whilst we're doing all this physical care for our body, we're also taking care of our emotions too. And I find that engaging in a creative practice is one of the best ways to fuel and feed your soul. Good night. Light switch. Bed between 10 and 11 is because a lack of sleep can actually kill you. Okay, it's a bit dramatic, but a lack of sleep over time can have catastrophic effects. I did do a sleep deprivation experiment where I went over in more detail the effects of sleep deprivation on your body, so if you'd like to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description down below.
I slept a solid 8 hours, which is actually less for me than usual given my CFS, but far more than I've had, especially uninterrupted, in probably months. It's also the earliest I've gone to bed in months because I've been going to bed at like 4 AM. I feel like I've corrected my sleep schedule, maybe not in a single night, but it was definitely a step in the right direction.
I do think that at least for the next week or so, I will definitely try implementing the full routine. Do I think it's practical long term? Potentially not, just because you need different things each night. Like, you cannot exfoliate every single day. It's probably not good for your skin. And a sunset walk is very niche, and I might not have time to do that at the exact time the sun sets every single day, especially because in this country in winter the sun sets at like 4:30. I'm not starting to wind down for my evening at 4:30. Like, it's giving senior citizen, you know what I mean? So sometimes having something that breaks us out of our regular routine when we're feeling down and stuck or in a spiral can be just what we need to kind of set things in a better direction. And I feel like today will be a little bit better than yesterday, which I guess is all you can really ask for when you're struggling. Thank you so much to Copilot for sponsoring today's video. Please do click the link in the description down below. They are just a wonderful company full of wonderful people. I cannot advocate for them enough. Plus, you get a banging deal. So click on it, give it a go. You never know, it might be just what you need.